In this video, we're going to be using the Wet the Face Vintage Barbershop Shaving Soap and the Harry's Razor for a dome shave. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned before, today we're going to be using the Wet the Face. Show you a look at the label right there, Vintage Barbershop. A sample was sent to me by our buddy Chris Garcia. Thank you, Chris. And this is a very different take on barbershop from my perspective. If you're used to the modern barbershops like Fine American Blend, this one is not that. It's got a nice scent, and I think it's at least medium in scent strength. Let's go ahead and tell you how much it comes to you for. $12.95 for 4 ounces, and on our cost chart, that is $3.23 per ounce, which is a good price. The scent on this will show you how it's described by Wet the Face right there. Again, this is a different take on barbershop. Woody myrrh, lavender, clove, musk. If you only like the modern type barbershops, say Fine CAD or excuse me, PAA CAD or Fine American Blend, this one may or may not be for you. It is very, very different, and I think that's why they made it. It's definitely a different take on barbershop. I like it. I think it's a nice scent. The ingredients we'll put for you right there. We have some good ones like lanolin, shea butter. So let's get right into it today. Oh, almost forgot the razor. Today, Harry's. We use carts from time to time on the dome, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing so. And I think a lot of people start out using carts when they shave their head, and a lot of people will start out using a traditional shaving soap with their carts, and that is perfectly okay. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is just water, plain tap water, and I'm just wetting the dome there a little bit. And today's brush, if I can get it out, is the PAA Switchback 400 with AP Shave Co. 2-bed knot. And we've got a nice lather here in our Captain's Choice bowl, which is a usual suspect here. And again, this one, medium scent strength. Smells pretty good to me. Let's not let that run down in our eyes, and we'll hope to get a great shave today with this Wet the Face. Again, I appreciate Chris Garcia sending several samples there for me to check out, and I've had good luck with this soap or Wet the Face soaps, no problems at all. And we look forward to this one today, getting another great head shave. And again, I like to reiterate when I use carts from time to time on the channel that don't poo-poo carts. If you don't like them, that's okay. But you know, there are a lot of people that come into the hobby and they first start with the cart, and maybe they pick up a traditional soap. So use whatever you like to use. And I always, when I use things like the Harry's razor, I'm hoping someone will Google Harry's on YouTube, and maybe this video will come up for them, and they'll go, oh, what's with the soap and the brush, you know? So we can use these cartridge razors to our advantage to lure new people in to the hobby. And also, there's nothing wrong with using them, unless you're opposed to the plastic and all that. That's fine. But if other people want to use them, no big deal. And I get really good shaves out of them. It's kind of a mindless, easy autopilot sort of shave when I use carts, and so I like to use them every once in a while. And we'll start today over here and just work our way up. I've sort of modified my technique a little bit, going up the side of my head first. This seems to work a little better. It sort of does the hard work in the beginning. You often hear, if you watch Jimmy from NYC Wet Shaving, he'll say, I'm cheating, meaning he's kind of going across the grain and getting some of the tough part right away, which makes some of the rest of the shave easier. So that's sort of what I'm doing here. And I find because these razors do pivot, they're quite easy to use, and I call it mindless, and that's a good thing. It's just, you can have sort of a zen shave. I'm recording this on Sunday, but I won't air it till later, probably Wednesday or so in the week. I would like to record some of these head shaves, so I have a number of them to air for you folks, because I know a lot of folks, they're just interested in head shaves. Some folks are not interested in the head shaves at all. That is entirely okay. We try to make content that's palatable, hopefully, to a little bit of everybody. But I am certainly not one of those folks who will, frown on using different types of hardware, be it a cart, straight razor, shavette, use whatever you like. And you can use a cart like this with a traditional shaving soap and using traditional technique and get a very nice result, I think, or at least I do. And so for those of you who do that, don't worry, you're not going to be thrown out of the hobby for being a heretic or something like that, because I'll certainly do it. And you certainly have my support if you do it. The main thing is we want you in the hobby, buying soaps, buying brushes, enjoying yourself, learning to make shaving a enjoyable experience versus, oh, I gotta shave today, you know, I hate shaving. Like most of us sort of came from that world, I think, when we first started, before we got into the hobby aspect. And you'd be surprised how many people, when you talk to them and say, shaving is one of your hobbies, they look at you like you have a third eye, you know, like, what's wrong with this person? Because most people who haven't found this way of shaving do not like it. They look at it as a chore. And our mission as shaving evangelists is sort of, as I see it, to bring them on in the hobby and go, hey, it doesn't have to be a chore. It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. You can enjoy these fantastic scents and soaps. And so that's sort of the way I look at part of my role, is to be an evangelist, an advocate for the hobby. But as I said the other day in a video, my priorities for making videos are as follows. Number one, enjoy myself. And I'm enjoying myself. Number two, evangelize for the hobby. And then there are other, you know, goals like growing the channel and all that follow behind the, you know, the other things. But number one, I always want to be enjoying myself and enjoying making the content. And number two, I want to be evangelizing for the hobby at the same time. And hopefully bringing more people in. But the most important thing for me, and hopefully for you and everybody else, is just simply to enjoy. So in my view, as long as you're doing it in a positive way and not being nasty and mean to people, you know, I think it's fine to pursue it however you like, whether you're using a card or whatever. Straight razor, you know, you do you and enjoy it in the way that you like. And that's the key. I think if you're enjoying yourself, then other people maybe will find it, enjoy themselves as well. Or at least that's always my goal. And so I got to say, if you're a head shaver and you do occasionally use a cart, please leave a comment below. Interested to know how many of you are, you know, who are within the hobby who still use carts on occasion. I don't use them often on my face because honestly, I just have so many razors to work through that, you know, I typically save a cart for the head because I do find it easy to use on the head because all the curves and contours. And yes, I can use D's and other razors on the head, and I do. But I do like to do these Harry's and Defender and all those sort of shaves for dome shaves as well, because it's kind of fun, honestly. Just it makes it easy. You don't really have to focus as much, or at least I don't. And I think overall it's quite an enjoyable experience, and you could just sort of chat and have your shave, or if you're, you know, just doing it in your bathroom, just enjoy it. You don't have to worry too much. I do have to focus a little more with DEs and SEs and so on the head. Not quite as much with the carp. It's a little easier. The orientation of the blades, I just think make it a little easier to work with. I don't know if I had a hair stuck in that. It looks like I saw a hair flapping around. But anyway, first and foremost, I just hope you all will enjoy your shaves and be good stewards. And when someone comes to you and they say, hey, you think I could use that soap with my car? Go, absolutely. That's step one. Get them the soap and the brush and get them accustomed to making multiple passes. Step two is getting them into safety razors and single edge razors and so on and so forth. And then on down the road, maybe even Shavette straight razors and so on. But if you come to the hobby and you never get beyond just using a a soap and a brush and making multiple passes, you are still welcome. Or at least that's the way I feel about it. We can use as many people as possible who like to enjoy the style of shaving and talk about it and advocate for it. And the reason why is it makes it good for our wet shaving economy. It makes it great so artisans like Wet the Face here can produce more scents and more soaps and just lead to even further enjoyment. Again, number one goal for me personally, enjoyment always. And so if I'm enjoying myself, I'm on the right track. There is menthol in this, by the way. I can feel it, and it feels very nice. Again, this scent, in my view, is not the type of scent that I would think would be a home run for every single fan of Barbershop, but it is different. And so if you're one of those folks who you're like, I'm kind of tired of the fine American blend type scent, I would like something different, you might try this one, because this one brings a very, very different style of scent, I think, to the table. And it's nice. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't put it in my, top 5 barbershop scents, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I do like the fact that it's something unusual in the barbershop sort of realm of soaps, because there's so many that smell very similar. And believe me, I have a ton because I love barbershop scents. So what I'm going to do now is just wet the dome and do a little touching up here just to make sure we get absolute level cue balls, I like to call it. I'll pull some, lather out of the brush here. And we'll just feel around and do some touching up on the difficult spots, which is always right there for one, and usually back here somewhere and right there. The hair is kind of tough to get at from there, but for the most part, we've done a very good job. A little bit right there I can feel. You'll just feel little places when you feel around your head where you could get just a little bit closer, trying to get that, as I said, level cue ball. I'm trying not to cut any bumps or anything like that. I can feel I have a bump right back there, so we'll try not to cut that, see if we need any additional work. And let's rinse this off. And I must say, pretty doggone enjoyable shave. It did snow a little bit last night. I think it's supposed to snow a little bit to open this week. We had the same thing last week. And I can't wait for spring, folks. I know some of you love the winter. I don't. I look forward to the spring, getting outside and getting some of that vitamin D. And I think it makes me feel better, too. Most of us, certainly in the United States and probably many other countries, don't get enough vitamin D. It affects your mood, affects all kind of stuff, really. And most people are vitamin D deficient. And the best way to get it is in the sun. Responsibly, of course. You don't want to be out there for hours on end with no sunblock, but that's the best way to get it. All right, this seems like a very nice shave today. Let me rinse and we'll come back and into the post. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back with the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Witch Hazel, and that was a very nice head shave with a very, I would say, unique barbershop soap. Is it my absolute favorite barbershop, as I said before? No, but if you're looking for something unique, you might find it in the, we'll show you the label again right there, Vintage Barbershop from Wet the Face. Very, very different take. And I do like that menthol. It's got some nice cooling going, and I really like it. Again, this was Thayer's Witch Hazel. Today we used the Harry's razor. Had a great shave. No bubbles, no troubles. We used our Captain's Choice bowl, PAA Switchback 400 with AP Shave Co. Sinbad knot. And we shall finish it off with a Wet the Face aftershave. This one is Grapefruit Tangelo, which I used in one of my head shaves recently. I really liked it, and so we're going to use it again today and just slap some of that on, and we'll be off to the races. Having a super nice, clean shaved dome. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And please, if you use a cart from time to time, let me know below. I'm interested to know how many people still sneak in that cart shave. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just enjoy. That's the main thing. I have enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying it. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.